Next, we're moving to our second speaker this evening. This is Owen Morgan from Myrddin Heritage in Carmarthen. The bio I've got here is that Owen and Tanya were a finance graduate and a dancer. I have sorted out whether he was the dancer or the finance graduate. And they basically stumbled into farming, having spent a year in Australia working on free-range pig farms. They realised this is this life that they wanted to pursue. And when they got back to Carmarthenshire, they found this small holding and started Myrddin Heritage, which is supplying a range of free-range pork products directly to customers and businesses in and around South Wales. So I'm quite interested to hear your story, Morgan. So Owen, sorry. So if it's over to yourself.
Diolch yn fawr am ofyn I fi ddod heno. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting story. As you just mentioned there, neither of us are from farming backgrounds. I'm what you call a townie from Carmarthen. So yeah, where did it all start? Tanya and I decided after being at university to go off travelling, and for some strange reason I wanted to work on a cattle station. So yeah, headed out there, ended up finding a place which was 360,000 acres and they had 10,000 cattle. So arrived there late and following morning straight into it. Obviously a bit of a shock with the weather. Wasn't used to the 50 degrees being from Wales. But yeah, just opened our eyes really, the whole experience. All these cattle were outside all the time. They basically taught us a lot of what we know at the moment. So that was in 2012. We came back and worked at the university in Swansea for a year, and my fixed term contract was coming to an end and I just had that urge to go again. So phoned the boss out in Australia. It was Western Australia in Broome, so it's basically like a desert. They had wild camels there, donkeys, wild dogs. It's very remote. The nearest town, which isn't Carmarthen, the size of Carmarthen, is about 4 hours away. So I was told, if you're bitten by a snake, just stay calm and yeah, hope for the best. So yeah, we headed back out there, but this time, having in that time had reared 2 pigs, which Tanya bought me for my 24th birthday. Again, a strange idea, but I was quite interested in knowing, where our food came from and, rearing animals for our own consumption. So having gone through that experience, we decided this time not only to work on the cattle station, but to also work on free-range pig farms. So these places, it was more like sort of in the cattle station. We were paid, full sort of salaries, but the pig farms, it was more sort of an experience. We had our sort of accommodation, food, and everything included, but we went there for the experience and to learn sort of the basics and also sort of the advanced stuff, because these were sort of commercial sized pig farms. Although free range, they had thousands of pigs. So yeah, so we went on 2 pig farms there on the east coast of Australia and the south as well, and 2 completely different sort of farms. So it was really good going to those 2 pig farms, because seeing both perspectives, and we could see that so one pig farm was better at sort of the birthing, so they're keeping the mortality numbers low, and also sort of getting those the average litter sizes up basically, but not so much in finishing them that well. Whereas the other pig farm we worked on, it was complete opposite. So working on those 2 farms showed us 2 completely perspectives, and something that we wanted to bring them both together for when we came back. So yeah, we decided again to come home. At the time, obviously, so we didn't have anywhere to go to, basically. So when we came back, moved back in with my parents and ended up working in the council. So I had my finance degree, so I ended up going into pensions and audit. But yeah, we started the business alongside sort of working full time. So this was started business about 2018, the summer of 2018. So yeah, just trying to balance the two was very challenging. I was very fortunate that I was able to go down to 4 days as things progressed. And Wednesday was our busiest day at the time. So I obviously we rear our own pigs. So I take them to the abattoir every Wednesday morning. So I'd take them extra early on a Wednesday, then go to work, finish there, then go to the unit to make the products. And, we'd be doing, very long days. And it got to the point where, I don't drink a lot, but I was going to work and feeling hungover all the time. And people were talking to me. And yeah, just everything was a blur. Obviously, it was taking its toll. So yeah, asked my boss if I could go down to 4 days. They obviously thought it was a good idea as well, and yeah, took that plunge to put in some more time towards the business. So yeah, we gradually increased bit by bit. Sort of the breeding side initially from our small holding here near Llandyssil. It was a disaster. Things weren't going right. They were hardly anything was going right. But we decided. I remember the first lot of pigs we had. I went to go and pick them up. We'd sorted out the arks and everything. We'd made all the arks ourselves to keep costs down. And I think it was like Storm Doris or something back then. And yeah, got back, pulled up the trailer, thought I'll just check on everything now. And this 12-foot ark that we'd made, and I was quite particular, painted the ends as well, to make them look really nice. Well, it was from one side of the field, it was like 30 meters the other side of the field in pieces. So it was at that point that we decided, you either quit or you just go head down and yeah, keep going. So in the wind and the rain, holding things together. Battery of the drill obviously ran out. So I'd stand there for 20 minutes with the battery charging. But it's that sort of experience right from the beginning. It's been like that. Yeah, you have your ups and you have your downs, and we got to the point now where, yeah, you get to the point where you sort of accept that. You accept that, no, it's not going to go completely to plan. So when it got to the point where basically I couldn't balance the business and the council anymore, I handed in my notice. At the time, financially, probably it wasn't the right decision. My parents would probably say that, but I thought, you had to throw yourself into these like different situations and opportunities, and I thought, this is what we want to do. Fortunately, Tanya and myself work very well together. Been together since we were 16, and it works well in business as well. So we both decided, let's just go for it. So we increased our numbers. Yeah, just put everything into it, and fortunately, it started to work. So from 2018, the summer, then I think it was 2019, I went full time. So yeah, since then we focused on supplying pork products to restaurants, farm shops, cafes, and just selling directly to the businesses. So basically we were having less per kilo than selling to customers, but there was large quantities. We learned how to twist sausages from YouTube, everything basically from scratch. No one, apart from our time out in Australia, everything was completely new. So yeah, just learning as we went, tried to ask questions from people that have done it before, and yeah, just increased to the point where we're supplying about 40 restaurants, making a couple of thousand sausages a week, and twisting everything by hand. We went into sausages primarily at the beginning just because from someone who likes food, I thought there was a bit of a gap in the market to some quality sausages. I've sort of hear some stories of what goes into sausages. So we focused on using sort of prime cuts of our own sort of free range pork, and everything was like preservative free. We use natural casings for the sausages. Obviously our pigs are free range. So we tried to sort of improve that side of things, and we stuck with sausages for about a year and a half, trying to sort of perfect what we were doing rather than spreading ourselves too thinly. So as the businesses increased, it was going great. And then a week before lockdown happened, I had that sick feeling. I was like, something's going to happen. And a week before, we decided to change and diversify slightly, because we knew this was all going to be turned off. At the worst case scenario, moving back in with parents and saying ta-da to the pigs. So we changed basically and created Myrddin Heritage with Friends. Now, so from sort of last year to now, we now have we've gained 1,400 new customers, and we have about just over 30 suppliers. So in that first week, we had 30 orders, and we thought that was amazing. We were really chuffed. So now I think we've done, probably 4,500 boxes since then. So we have suppliers from sort of Caws Cynnar cheese, which is only 15 minutes from here, is Caws Tavy. We focused entirely on sort of Welsh products, organic, free range, and stuck with that regardless, and try to promote through social media everything that was going on at our place, with the pigs, trying to educate people, and it sort of worked. Got to the point where it wasn't just Tanya and myself, we couldn't produce what was required, so we took staff on. Coming up to Christmas, with the week we did 2 deliveries in Christmas, and I think we did almost a ton of products that week. Fortunately, we've got a very supportive family, which still help now with deliveries. So we have 6 vehicles going every Friday now with deliveries, all across South Wales. And we decided to, which is crazy, we decided to do all the deliveries ourselves. So obviously, like with meat, you can send it in insulated packaging and ice packs, but as sort of a new business, and I treat it sort of like new again from when we started in 2018, I couldn't risk anything going wrong. So I prefer to know exactly that, that box has been delivered and that customer is happy. So, and if anything's slightly wrong, I know I can ring my dad and my mum and go, you were supposed to deliver that box. It's not relying on a sort of courier service. So it's kind of worked well from there. We make everything to order. So we have a cut-off. So midnight tonight, the cut-off is, and then everything is made to order and goes out on Friday. So we start butchering today, start mincing, mixing everything tomorrow. Wednesday, start twisting, and then Thursday, pack, and then Friday, we get up at 4 o'clock every Friday morning to box all the orders and then deliver them So Friday is probably like a 4 till 10 in the evening day. But yeah, we're very fortunate that it did take off. It saved us basically, but also it's shown that customers are becoming sort of more aware of where the food's coming from, and they're starting to ask more questions, which, yeah, through our social media channels, we're trying to show really and do videos of what goes on sort of in the field and also in the unit. So it's been, yeah, an absolute roller coaster. I wouldn't change anything, even from you know, those days back in sort of Australia, and yeah, collapsing because of the weather and not used to it. And then the roller coaster between trying to balance work, trying to sort of financially trying to make things ourselves just to save costs. But we've got to the position now we're in, you know, we're in a stronger position. Just found out sort of yesterday that we're going to be supplying the Michelin star sort of beach house in Oxwich from next week or week after. So with pork belly. So, and some of the top restaurants that we were supplying have come back on board this week now. So I've learned that, so like a chicken term, not to have all your eggs in one basket. You know, before we were just supplying businesses, it was going great, and we sort of stuck with that until there was a pandemic. Now, I believe we're in a stronger position where we can sort of balance the two now. It's inevitable that sort of customers and their buying habits will change, and I see sort of like a bit of a dip with that as, you know, businesses or restaurants reopen. But now, as we're supplying the restaurants as well, you know, we're in a good position. We'll continue the sort of Myrddin Heritage and Friends side, so we're still buying in sort of stock of like cheese, apple juice, eggs. We have fresh sourdough bread being delivered the morning of deliveries, so they go out. For us, it was trying to sort of showcase what Wales has to offer and to get it to the door as fresh as possible. Yeah, so we're going to keep going as we are. We're trying to, it's still now, it's sort of like a headache and thinking, trying to stay one step ahead. So we're going to be moving into sort of charcuterie products and sort of ready to eat products as well. It's always, you can't stand still. You know, we've been going since 2018, very new to this, but it's always trying to stay one step ahead and trying to offer the customer something different. I've learned that, you know, obviously in the pandemic, like these boxes were amazing, like every week they were looking forward to them, but as so some sort of normality comes back, you have to stay one step ahead and offer them something different. Always clearly, you know, artisan sort of handmade free range products are better than well-known sort of products, but you need to offer more than that. It's often to the sort of the experience as well, which is why we're looking to open our small holding up to allow people to see around our place. The fact that they've supported us for just over a year now, to come to our place and possibly one day have a farm shop, that's the ultimate goal. So yeah, so from a non-farming background, we've thrown ourselves into it. It's been an amazing experience, and yeah, just looking to sort of push on now and sort of promote sort of free range side of things, specifically with pigs, because most are kept indoors. Yeah, so that's me finished. Thank you very much, Diolch.
No, thank you, Owen, and thank you for being quite honest about the journey you've been on. With all new businesses, when they start, the fledgling process, from the things that work, the things that don't work, the way that you snowballed from as you say, a non-farming background, that's to me, that's true determination in the marketplace that you're on about. So thank you for sharing that journey with us, and I look forward to some of the questions that we maybe asked later on. Yeah, inspiring. Very, to see brands grow. Brands for me are very important in this Welsh industry, and they're very difficult to get going. But that momentum sometimes is fantastic to see.